Uh, being a gang member in the 90s was not popular. I touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I'm going to touch on it more today. Because I don't understand how being in a gang became popular like you're a high school valedictorian or something, like, you know what I mean? Like it never was like that, especially in the 90s. It wasn't like that in the 90s because if you was a bad kid, your mom would point you out and point you out and be like, don't hang with that kid. That kid is bad. Like everybody in the neighborhood knew what kids was bad. So moms always pre-warned you on what kids is bad all the time. Oh, don't you know that kid? Oh, yeah, he's my friend. We play in the dark. We play around together. We go play. Don't play with him no more. He's bad. Leave him alone. and they always made sure that they try to keep tabs on your friends and stuff, on who you hang with and who you be around with. Don't hang around this kid. He's bad. He going to jail. So like it kind of like if you wanted to be bad, you had to be sneaky bad. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just be all the way bad because like you ain't gonna have no friends because the moms keep saying don't hang around him. This nigga is bad. So like most niggas in the 90s were doing like two or three things at one time. You know, they might be gang banging, but I'm a player. I'm a lover on the side. You know, I'm a hustler. Oh, I'm an athlete. A lot of niggas was athletes. You know what I mean? Like that's why I love sports so much. A lot of niggas was like that's who we looked up to. We didn't look up to rappers. We looked up to basketball players. We looked up to football players. We looked up to people in the streets making money. That's how we looked up to. We didn't look up to rap. We didn't. We listened to rap. We listened to everything that it was saying on it, but we didn't take the words that they were saying by heart. Like we, like during those times, we didn't take everything they said to heart. Every rapper, yeah, and they had a lot of gangster rappers. Like my favorite rapper in the '90s was Sebo. I bumped Sebo 90% of the time. No lie, I was always bumped Sebo nonstop. See, I bumped Pac too. I bumped Pac a lot, but I really bumped Sebo a lot. And he was hard to me. So, like, it wasn't popular, man. Like I said, it just wasn't like so. Like people try to hide. People always try to do different things to institute what they do. Like I'm a hustler, I'm a player, I'm something like that. It wasn't just strictly wake up, gangbang. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that in black, in particularly blood and crip gangs compared to um the Mexican gangs and the Italian mob and even the Black Panther organization. The difference is those organizations had structure. And when them organizations, it's a good and bad thing. I'm gonna show you how it's a good and bad thing. Okay, structure. Okay, like you get a Norte gang and they got structure where they got leaders, lieutenants, soldiers, and they keep that structure on time. You know what I mean? You take out Big Benendez because there's always a Benendez. Like you take out Big Benendez at the top, usually everything falls apart in that organization because they have a structure. Same thing with Black Panther. Black Panther, they had leaders talking, smoked the leaders, and then they had really no one else want to step up and be leaders and talk no more after their main leader just got shot up. Italians, take out the top Italian, boom. Or you take out the mid Italian snitch on the top Italian. It was a lot of snitching involved in Italian mob stuff. There's a lot of snitching involved that took down their organization. Blood and Crip, there is no leader. There is no leader. There might be a super Crip, there might be a super Blood, but he's not a leader. He can get knocked down by his own homie if he comes out wrong. Every day when you're in Crip or Blood, you got niggas that all think they're hard. Not just one, all of them. All of them feel like a king. All of them feel like they can put in work. All of them feel like they can do you in. So that's the difference between Blood and Crip and other things. But the demise of that is that with no leader, there's no structure, there's no control. It's just a whole bunch of people that's out of control. A whole bunch of niggas that believe in the same street they're from that are just out of control. And things just seem like they were getting things just seem like they got out of control now because back then I feel like they pushed the campaign. Like every day when I was in school, they had little Crime Stopper dogs at commercials, and they had these little different commercials. They had more fucking Teen Summits and shit. I remember at the Teen Summit, this nigga named Bloodhound showed up. Bloodhound from Rolling 20s. Bloodhound telling this story about this is the first like LA story I ever heard. I was like 11, 12. I'm just listening to Bloodhound. I'm up here just listening to him. I mean, he dipped and all red, just talking. Bloodhound. And he was just talking, and he was talking about how he got shot 19 times and all that. I'm like, God damn, this nigga's been shot 19 times. Like he had a very interesting story. But, at the end of the day, it didn't matter because niggas listened to the story, niggas listened to all that stuff and still did what they wanted to do. And I just think that so what I'm saying is that with no structure, no one telling these kids what they can join, how they can join, when they can join, nothing. These kids are just waking up in the morning. One day, this regular kid wake up in the morning, brush their teeth, all of a sudden put on gangster apparel, go on Instagram, throw up a couple gang signs, and just make up a name, and now they on the set. And this is where we at now. With no structure, this is where we at now. Niggas waking up in them. The energy now is I listen to a rapper. He wants to be a thug, so I'm gonna wake up in the morning, become a thug today, carry a gun, and decide to just go out there and shoot with no hope and no vision on life. I don't even know how it came down to this, but I don't know who thinks it's cool, y'all, but it ain't really cool. For real.